Hey all, it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm so freaking excited. We are going to be talking about the new Oden's Eye and Angelica Nyqvist Part 2 collection. So previously, Angie did come out with the Hela palette, which wound up being one of my favorite palettes of the year when it came out. It's this very earthy, mossy kind of tone. This time, she took it and multiplied it by about 1,000. We're going to be looking over all the products, the packaging. I'm going to show you swatches. We are going to do 4 looks total. With each palette, I will do 1 look on each eye, so 4 total. We're going to be just testing out all of it. I am so damn excited. I have yet to put any of this on my face. I have only done swatches so far. And spoiler alert, if the swatches are any indication of how it's going to perform on my face, this might wind up being one of my favorite collections of the year. Full disclosure, not only did I receive this in PR, and I'm so thankful to both Oden's Eye and Angie that I did, but Angie is somebody that I consider to be a friend. We have traveled together. We talk pretty much every damn day. I love this woman with my whole heart, but as always, my opinions are going to be completely honest, so if a shade does not perform well for me, I will let you know, but I will also always try to work with these shades and do anything that I can if it comes down to that. But again, if the swatches are any indication, I don't think we're going to have any problems here at all. Let's look over the products. So first of all, this is the PR box that you can receive if you do buy the whole collection. And honestly, I know it's just a cardboard box, but I think it's really pretty. We've got the similar artwork to the Hela palette where we've got the half demon face or half dead face, if you will, and half beautiful face. I love it, except this time it's in these kind of pastels. And with the wings and everything, it's a bit more demon, a bit more spooky-like in the best way possible because it is officially spooky season. One huge difference though, in this collection, we have 2 eyeshadow palettes. They are both so amazing, but wait, there's more. We also have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 lippies. Now, this is my first time trying Oden's Eye lip products at all. I am so freaking excited about this. This is so cool, and all these colors are so spooky themed. Like, I just am so here for it. There's some extras if you buy the bundles, but first, let's go over each palette. So the very first palette we have is the Little Ghost palette. I absolutely love the packaging on this. The artwork is really next level to me, and the fact that they incorporated various metallic elements on the packaging, absolutely in love. Similar to the previous palette, we do have an outer cardboard sleeve and then cardboard packaging overall. I love how slim this is and just how compact it is for how much is inside. And then once you look inside, we do have this stunning color story. The Little Ghost palette does have 10 mattes and 6 shimmers. One of the shimmers, I believe, the color Boo, which is that pinky tone, I believe it's a topper from what I could tell from doing the swatches, as it's a little more sheer than the rest of the products. Now, again, I have not watched Angie's reveal video as of this point, so possibly that's not a topper, but in my experience, I would be using this as a topper. But this is such a great color story. I feel like you can take portions of this color story and make it into like little separate color stories. Just really excited. And we have everything from that bright matte neon yellow down to like a kind of muted coral shimmer. It's just such a rad spattering of color. And the swatches for this all performed so well. As I mentioned, the only one that I found a little tricky at first was Boo, but then I realized this is likely a topper. So that once I realized that, I was completely fine with how it was because that shimmer shows through so beautifully. All of these shimmers felt almost soft to the touch, not so much that they crumbled in the pan, but that they went onto my arms so smoothly and just so opaque that I was so impressed, and every single matte performed beautifully. Every single one was opaque, and I didn't have to go over it a million times. I didn't even pack it on. I was just swiping it and going back and forth like 1 or 2 times. I was so impressed, and we're going to find kind of a common theme here. So this color right here is Skeleton, and it might look like nothing, you know, it might look like a nothing color, but this is a white shadow with a very light purpley gray tone that I think is such a good addition to the palette, because I personally, I know a lot of people aren't like this. I like to have a lighter tone to put as a brow bone highlight or an inner corner highlight in palettes, right? This one is so opaque and creamy and beautiful, but it's just a unique tone. So I really appreciate having that in the palette. So this palette, as well as the other palette, is going to retail for $43.90 US. The second palette, oh, you guys, the second palette is the Trick or Treat palette. So this does have very similar artwork, but in a little bit different color scheme. This one is more oranges and greens and just, I don't know, like it feels a little more spooky, and I love it. Okay, so the packaging is the same, where we do have that outer cardboard sleeve and then the inner cardboard packaging, which is very slim. And then here is your color story of Trick or Treat. Now with this one, we do have 9 mattes and 7 shimmers, so it's a little more evenly balanced, and I love it. I love it so much. This, I can already tell, I believe out of the 2 palettes, I think this one is gonna be my favorite because there are so many colors in this one that speak to me on a deep, visceral level. Now Howl, that second color on the top, like the second color from the left, is so dreamy. It's like a creamy mustard matte color, and I absolutely love it. But you do have these intense shimmers. And again, we have that shade Wicked in this palette that is almost like a white, but definitely has a little bit of a color added to it. So I think it makes it really unique. I'm really glad those were included in both of these palettes. But again, this swatched so lovely. Every single color in this one, I didn't even have to think about it. I didn't have to go over it a bunch of times. They are so creamy and so, the mattes are perfect and matte, and the shimmers are vibrant and foiled. I'm just so excited to play with this. Again, this will also retail for $43.90. Now, the prices are not officially out yet for bundles, but there will be bundles where you can get, you know, maybe it's both palettes or some lippies. I don't know what the bundles are going to be yet. If I have information, I will put everything in the description box down below. I'm also going to put a link to Angie's reveal video so you can learn more about the names and everything that she went through to build these beautiful palettes and this collection as a whole. So everything is going to be in the description box down below, but let's go over these lippies. So as I mentioned, we have 5 lippies in this collection. We do have 2 matte lip stains, 1 shine lip gloss, and 2 glow lip glosses. And I just am so pumped that we get lips with this collection, especially because I really do feel, and you can kind of see from the edge here, that they are all very fall themed, and there's such good like spooky elements, and I'm so pumped. They all have shades of brown, which if you know me, I love a brown lip. Okay, I love a brown 90s lip. I am so into it, but let's go over these. First, let's take a look at the Shine lip glosses. We do have these in 2 colors. We do have Quicksand, which is a warm brown shade, and we have Spectral, which still has a touch of brown, but a touch more pink to it. So it does have that kind of like rosy mauve brown, if that makes sense. Both of these really went on surprisingly for me. I was not expecting them to be as pigmented as they were, which I love a pigmented gloss. I really, really do. I love a sheer gloss as well, but I feel like it's more common to have sheer glosses than pigmented ones. So I'm really excited for both of these and to try them. We have the Glow lip gloss, and this shade is Radioactive. So this is a more sheer lip gloss with tons and tons and tons of sparkle in it that shifts every which way. Very, very cool. This is a warm tone gloss. I would say that it borders on like a little bit of a peachy orange base, but again, it is more sheer, so this can be used as a great topper to anything, or it could be used probably on your bare lips and still look absolutely stunning, but it is full of sparkle, so I do feel like this would make kind of a good addition as a topper. Next, let's go over the matte lip stains. So again, we do have 2 of these in the shades Swamp Fog, which is the more warm tone brown of the 2, and Shadow Creature, which is the more slightly cool tone brown. Now, these are both a moussey feel. The thing that I would compare them most to are the Kaleidos Cloud Lip Clays. So they are completely matte, they are completely opaque, but you can even probably blur out the edges. If you're somebody who likes to blur out the edges of your lipsticks, you can probably do that comfortably with these. Now, I do not personally like the look of a blurred lip on myself. My lips are quite uneven, so I prefer a nice sharp line, but these went on really nicely. They felt very hydrating for something that is matte. And I'm very curious to try these out because I do love the Kaleidos Lip Clay formula, and that is what I can compare these to as of right now for how it felt on my arm. Now, all of the lip products are $13.90 US each. And again, I feel like there's probably going to be some bundles where you can get the whole collection, or maybe like you can get the 2 matte lip stains together. I don't know for sure, but again, everything will be in the description box down below. And if you get bundles, there are some like extra goodies that you can get. So one of them, Angie had this in her previous collection, a similar one, not the same one, but these little thin scarves, and she calls them tuli, I believe. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. She'll like punch me in the gut if I say it wrong. She won't actually punch me. She's not a violent person. But these are just these beautiful silky ties, and you can see they have the same kind of imagery on them, and they're just really pretty. I have my other one hanging up as kind of a decoration because I just think that they're so pretty. But the cutest addition is that there's these little fuzzy buddy keychains, okay? Look, we've got a little baddie and a little ghostie. Now, what I think is the best is that the ghostie has like a little rainbow shooting out of his butt like Nyan Cat. But these are just adorable. I'm looking forward to kind of like hanging these up and displaying them because they're really freaking cute. So anyway, we are gonna start with the little ghost palette. As I mentioned, I want to do 1 look on each eye. So in total, we're going to have 4 looks. And for at least 1 look with each palette, I really want to push myself out of my comfort zone and mix colors I wouldn't normally mix, because that's what like kind of this year is about for me. I want to push myself out of my comfort zone. So I do have my foundation on. I have concealer. I have an eyeshadow base. I have all of that on. I just need to do eyeshadow. I don't have any blush on. I have like a lip plumper on right now, but we're going to try one of the lips. Let's get into this. I feel like I just said so much in the past handful of minutes, but it's because I'm genuinely so freaking excited. I want to try this. All right, so as I mentioned, we are starting with the little ghost palette. So I think that 1 look I want to do is a halo eye. This is going to be kind of my more risque one for me, not for any normal person, but for me. And I think I want to do a halo eye with the blues and the oranges and maybe some of this purple. I don't know, like I really want this one to be a deep smoky halo eye, but I want it to focus on blue and orange. So I'm a little nervous. I'm a little bit nervous. I feel like it looks like I'm a kiss ass here, but I'm going to be using the Singe Beauty EO1 brush. And the color I want to start with is Haunted House. This is just a very deep matte blue. Whoa. From tapping in just a few times, I'm going to tap off quite a bit of the excess because I don't want this to get any fallout if I can prevent it. And again, my eyes have already been primed. I used the Sigma pencil, and let's see, I'm going to be putting this on the outer corner and inner corner. Whoa, that's very intense. This looks like I'm using primary pigments here. This is insane. By the way, also, I forgot to mention, their powder products, all of Oden's Eye powder products are also vegan. Obviously, they're cruelty-free because that's all I do on my channel is feature cruelty-free products, but the palettes are also vegan. I do not know if the lips are vegan yet. I will, again, update you in the description box down below. This is beautiful. My only concern is that because this is so opaque, I wonder if it's going to be difficult at all to blend out, but do you see how intense that is? I am getting a bit of fallout, and I'm honestly not surprised because this is one of the more intense colors I've like ever used. I also recently saw somebody do this where they didn't put it on the very inner corner. They just put it like slightly up so that they could put a different color on the inner corner. I'll try that, but I'm still going to keep it fairly close to the inner corner. I did just get a ton of fallout because I didn't tap that out enough, but I think that with these palettes, because they are so pigmented, look at that. Wow, because they're so pigmented, I think you're gonna want to do your face makeup last. I'm just doing it first for the purpose of filming a video. I cannot believe how pigmented this is. This is insane. So I'm gonna clean off all excess product on my Sigma switch, and I'm going to just try to blend these edges out a little bit to see how easily they blend. So I think that still looks lovely. I'll touch up the opacity where I want it, but no, that's blending out very nicely. I'm also going to take the BK Beauty A502, and I'm going to run that just on the edges before applying the next color, because the next color I'm nervous about. Now I am going to go ahead and touch up in the corner again here because I did lose a little bit of that opacity when I blended out. but it comes right back. This color, especially Haunted House, I would suggest packing it on rather than swiping it. Now I'm going to go into Candy Corn. This is the one I'm a little bit nervous about because I know that, you know, orange and blue are complementary colors, but okay, I'm going to put this in my crease. And at this point, I'm just letting the fallout happen. I will clean it up. I'm actually really enjoying the way the orange and blue looks together so far. I'm going to flip the brush around and I'm going to take a little bit of Haunted, which is this lighter kind of, it's almost like a periwinkle blue. And I'm going to put that just right on the edges. Actually, I'm going to put it all over the center. I'm going to put another color on top of this, but I feel like that will make for a nice transition and blend. So now I am going to take some of my NYX glitter glue and I'm going to use the Singe E04 to apply that. And I'm just putting this right on the center of my lid because now I'm going to go into Creepy, which I'm so excited about. This is such a pretty sparkly blue, but it almost leans a touch purple, just a touch, but oh my gosh. That is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love that. I love that color. Whoa, I love that like way more than I was expecting. I thought it would be pretty, don't get me wrong, but oh my gosh, that is so pretty, right? Ooh, look at that. Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. I don't want to mess with it too much because it's perfect. I think I'm also going to take the Singe EO2 and I'm going to take a touch of licorice. And when I say a touch, I mean like I'm barely tapping in and getting off all the excess. It's a very deep dark purple. And I'm going to put that just right here, just right on this back part of the crease, like just to deepen it up a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, just in the outer part and right along that V as well. Just gives it like a little bit of drama. And finally, before I'm done with that eye, I want to go into Ghoulish, which is a matte sky blue. I'm taking that just on a pencil brush, just a little bit. And that's what I'm going to add to this inner corner as like a highlight. But oh wow, I really have been liking matte inner corner highlights. I never thought I would. Now, see, it's turning out super dark right now there because I do have quite a bit of fallout just from that blue, really, that really, really, really intense matte blue. So I'm definitely gonna have to clean this up and I might have to go back in with that color. Let me clean this up and I'll be right back. All right, we are looking much better. So again, I'm gonna try out that Ghoulish right on the inner corner. There we go. That's the kind of pop I was hoping for. Look at that. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's fan-freaking-tastic. Look at that color. Can you see it? I'm going to take a tiny bit of Haunted House, just a very tiny bit, and I'm going to run that right on this lower lash line just to connect this. I really, really like this. I really like this. So I don't want to finish it off just yet. I'll finish this off at the end with some liner and mascara, but already, like, that blue sparkle, look at that. Can you see how intense that is? And I really like the way that the orange and the blue look together. And I actually really like the addition of that licorice color on the outer edge. And this matte is like killing me. I want to like keep packing it on endlessly. Like that's so pretty and vibrant. Look at it. Ooh. Now I think for my second look, I want to go, I'm not going to say more traditional, but I think I want to stick to this purple range, like all these bright, vibrant purples. And then maybe I'll try also Boo as a topper. And I almost wonder if I want to put this bright yellow in the inner corner, similar to how I did this. So we will see. But let me find which brushes I want to use. Okay, I'm going to start with this Doll 10 Beauty Buff Blender brush. This is completely discontinued, but I love it anyway. So I am going to take this and I'm going to dip it into Little Ghost. I'm going to take this one a little bit at a time because it is very pigmented. So like here, before I tap it, you can see it's incredibly, incredibly pigmented. And I don't want to have the same issue that I had with the blue shadow, which is Haunted House. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to build it up slowly, but this is going to go in the crease. This is not the correct brush for this. Gonna go with a standby, the Royal & Lang Nickel Balm 14 crease brush. Again, continuing to tap it out. And I want the deepest color to be like directly in the crease. So that's kind of where I'm placing it first and blending it out from there. Now again, I'm almost kind of like packing this into the crease, then removing some color and blending it out from there. Now with this one, I do not have fallout. Maybe it's because I went in a little more gentle-handed, but I'm gonna take this under the eyes. So I'm gonna go back with the Singe EO2 and Licorice. Again, this is a very, very deep dark purple, and I'm gonna place this just on the outer edge here, just to deepen it up. That's a pretty color. That's giving the drama. I'm also gonna try to put that right up against my lower lash line. So far, so good. I'm going back in with the EO4 and I cleaned everything off of it. And this time I'm gonna put NYX glitter glue pretty much all over most of my lid. And I'm gonna start with Ominous. I'm taking that right on that same sticky brush, but this is just kind of a true purple sparkle. And I'm gonna put that on like half of the lid. This is a really pretty sparkle. It definitely shifts blue a bit in the light, as you can probably see. Oh, that's so pretty. And then I'm gonna dip into Zombie. This is a much lighter, almost lavender sparkle. This is gonna go on the inner. Shut up, I love this so much. This is this is so unexpected for me because this would not normally be a color that I would be obsessed with, and I love it so much. I love this so much. Look at that. It's such a pretty like lavender sparkle. Do you see that? Oh my God. That is so dreamy. Okay, I do have quite a bit of fallout, so I am gonna have to touch up under, but don't even care. Now I think I'm gonna use my finger for this. I'm gonna take a little bit of Boo, and when you can see on my finger, it's very, very shiny, but it does have a more sheer base, and I'm gonna try to pat that right on top. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it. Oh, wait. So what it's doing is it's bringing out more of that blue glitter. Oh, that's really, really cool. That's really cool. I am gonna go and touch up the Ominous right on this outer edge, but look at that shine. Look at that sparkle. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me touch this up. I know I'm being a wimp here. I don't think I want to do the yellow on the inner corner like I originally planned, because I don't want to take the chance of ruining anything because I really like the way this looks. But what I am going to do is I want to take Skeleton, which is that purpley white that I told you about, and I want to use this as a highlight under both brow bones, no matter which shade I'm using. So we'll see how it looks with both. Oh, see here, it's just like, I love it. I love it so much. It just pulls nice and light. I'm curious how it's going to look with the orange. Am I going to mess this up? I hope not. I'm just going to put it lightly and we'll go from there. Yeah, okay, so it's not pulling extremely purple. It just pulls like a nice light brow bone. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop off camera, finish up the rest of the eye look. I'm going to put on a blush and then we're going to test one of the lips. All right, the eyes are all finished. I added some liner in the waterline, and in both cases, it's the Kaleidos, those like shifty liners that I really love. And I added a black wing to each side. I love them. I can't decide which one I like better. Okay, which one do you like better so far? We've got the orange and blue. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, see, but that purple. I love this. I love them both. All right, let's try one of these matte lip stains. Now, what I think I want to do is not so much like a blotted out, but I think I want to do it a little bit muted so I can put one of those more intense glosses on top. But this shade is Swamp Fog, and this is the one that has like a slightly warmer tone, and it's, I don't know, it's got like a moussey brown pink texture to it. So I did just have some lip plumper on. I was using my, where is it? There we go, my Sereni Beauty Lip Alchemy, which I freaking love. First, I'm gonna like, maybe I'll dot this on and blend it out with my finger. Is that gonna be too blurred? Let's try it. All right, so this is pulling very warm on me, like borderline like orangey, which I don't mind. I lied, I put this on more opaquely. I'm not sure how I feel about this color on me. Maybe it's because the eyes are so cool toned that this is such like a warm toned lip, But what do you think? Do you guys like this? Maybe if I top it with one of the, ooh, let's try this. So I'm gonna use the Shine Lip Gloss in Spectral. This is the one that's kind of like, almost like a cool toned mauve-y pink. Maybe this will cool it down and look pretty cool. These feel very nice. So they are definitely like slippery, but they don't feel like they're gonna leave your lips in 2 seconds. Now, of course, it's a gloss. I don't expect glosses to stay on all day through food and drink. This feels really nice though, and it is super high shine, super high shine. And that was just the Shine lip gloss. So I really like this combo actually. All right, so here is the first set of looks with the little ghost palette. We still have the Trick or Treat palette to go. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the lip. I am really impressed so far. Of course, I'll give my final thoughts, like my final first impressions at the end of this video, but oh, I really like this so far. I think I'm gonna have to do the second set of looks on a different day, but I love it. I love it. You know what, I think I'm leaning towards this one. What do you think? All right, and let's move on to the next set of looks with the Trick or Treat palette. Hello, so it is time to play with the Trick or Treat palette. This is the palette that I have to admit I was most excited about. As much as I loved my 2 looks from the other palette, like I was really happy with them, this is the color story I've been drooling over. So there's so many different options here for, you know, different color stories that I could use. There are a few colors that I know I want to use. So I think my first color, or my first eye rather, I want it to be kind of a fiery eye. So those oranges, those reds, those golds. And the second one, I have no idea what I want to do, but I need to use Crypt Keeper. Do you see the shift in that? How it goes from very light kind of gold to like a deep dark green. This is like my dream color. So I have a feeling I'm probably going to have quite a bit of fallout and probably should have done my foundation last. Yet again, but here we are. Also, have you ever seen that meme that's like, oh my God, some girls with like a cute messy bun and then me with a cute messy bun? Like, maybe I wasn't meant to do the cute messy bun thing because it's just like Frizz City. So I want to start with that fiery eye, and I am going to take Howl, which very well could wind up being my favorite color. I was going to say in this palette, but maybe ever. It's this beautiful mustardy brown matte color. And I'm taking that very lightly. I can always build this up. And this is just gonna go in the crease. These mats are really nice, by the way. They are very beginner friendly, I feel like, because you can build them up very easily, but they blend out very nicely, like very easily. You don't have to put a whole lot of effort or work into either building them up or blending them out to get this really, really pretty color. Oh my gosh, I love this color. I feel like when you have a good quality palette, the colors just blend themselves out and you barely have to do any work, and I'm here for it. Next, I'm going to go into Jack-O-Lantern, which is a very classic pumpkin orange, very, very pigmented though. When I just picked it up on the brush, I have to admit I was a little surprised at how pigmented, so I'm tapping off quite a lot. And this is going to go on the outer edge and also into the crease a bit. This is like a neon orange. Wow, that's really cool and unique. Wow, that is bright. I feel like you can see how easily that blended with Howl too, to just create a nice gradient, and I'm very happy with that. I'm very, very happy with that blend. Next up, we have Candy Apple, which is definitely red, but there's like kind of a brick quality to it, kind of a bit of an orange to it. So it's definitely not a true like primary color red. There's a little bit more dimension to it, I feel like. That's gonna go on this outer corner. Whoa, whoa, she's pigmented. I'm going to go back and forth with that orange a little bit. I have to admit, I was not expecting how pigmented that one would be, and I'm really happy that it is, but I definitely want that orange to still show. I feel like we've got kind of a nice blown out gradient now. I'm liking the way that this is looking so far. And let me see where we are with fallout. Other than fallout from my actual brush, like a brush hair, I don't see any shadow fallout this time, like none. None at all, so I'm happy with that. Oh, for the lid, I can't decide whether I want to go for this like bright gold, which is full moon, or deadly, which is that, you know what, I'm sorry, I want to go for deadly, which is this very coppery, beautiful, beautiful orange. And I'm not even using any glitter glue. I'm going to put this on just all over the lid. Well, that was a fantastic choice. I am a sucker for colors like this, and this definitely pulls beautiful orange shimmery. Like, it's more orange than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like bronze copper, but it definitely has that orange tone to it. I love it. So you know what? Let's take a little bit of full moon, just a little bit. This is a, I don't want to say chunkier shade, but it's not as finely milled as the other one. So it does have more of a punch, but this also means it has more dimension to it, and then it has a bunch of different colors in it, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to put that as like the world's most intense yellow highlight. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm going to blend that up and into the crease a bit. Oh, see, this is really cool. This color is really holding its own. I'm going to take a little bit more of that even and pull it even more up into the crease. I really appreciate it when colors can do that, because I feel like far too often I will put a color in the inner corner and the second I go to blend it out, it's gone. But this is like really holding the attention. Look at the shift too. It's really glittery, but it's not chunky at all. It's, oh, I like it. I like it. I'm going to take a tiny bit of that red candy apple and I'm going to apply that right against the lash line, and I'm going to blend that out with some of the orange. I'm even just going to use what's left on the brush here. And even further down, I'm going to take some Howl and just brush that right up against those to get a nice diffused, blown out smoky look. See, this, once I add my mascara and my liner, this is like an everyday eye for me. I love a sunset look like this, but this has so much dimension, especially because you've got these different textures with the mattes that I used. We've got the 3 mattes, but then this shimmer on the lid is completely different from the shimmer on the inner corner, and it just catches the light in different ways. This is an everyday eye. Guys, I am going through so many brushes for these looks. I always think that I have too many brushes, and then I'll do something like this and I'll be like, oh wait. So next I want to do on this eye, a halo eye, and I want to again use this. I might use very few colors for this. I might be just using Cauldron, which is this green matte, and then Crypt Keeper, which is that sparkly color. I might only be using 2 colors in this. That feels very wrong, but you know what? Sometimes simple is good. First, I'm dipping into Cauldron, and I'm going to take this slowly because I really want not a lot of fallout if I can avoid it, and this color seems very, very pigmented. So I'm tapping this very gently on the inner and outer corners. This is a great matte dark forest green. Like, it's just a really good color. It's got some, like, I don't know, nature vibes to it. It's very, very opaque, very pigmented. I'm going to take a touch of Cauldron on a blending brush, just a very little bit, just to blend this out into the crease. Because I'm only going to use those 2 colors, I want this blend up to be nice. I'm going to take what's left over on my brush from Cauldron and just kind of brush that across the lid, just a tiny bit in the halo eye spot, just to give it a tiny, tiny bit of a base, but nothing too pigmented, because now we are going in with Crypt Keeper. Do I need some glitter glue for this? Let me get glitter glue. Going in with Crypt Keeper, I barely touched my finger to the palette. I didn't even swipe it. I just dabbed it, and look at that. This, yep. This is the best color in the whole palette. What about Howl? Am I being mean to Howl by saying this is the best color? But it is. Y'all, that was one touch into the palette. One touch, and it is completely opaque and beautiful. Here's the thing. I always try to use a ton of shades in every palette and every look that I do, just to show you how they all behave. But I feel like this is also a really good example of how you can use 2 colors to create kind of like a dynamic look, right? You don't have to use 9 million colors. You can use 2 and kind of easily be out the door with like a very impactful look. I'm thrilled with this. I'm just putting Cauldron, which is that matte green, under the eyes, and I'm done with shadow. I know it looks very simple, right? But like, I feel like it's also incredibly sexy. Okay, I'm gonna hop off camera, finish the eyes, and we'll be back to test the lips. Okay, here are the two eye looks with the Trick or Treat palette. Obviously very different. So on one side, we've got very fall, we've got warm, we've got just pretty, we've got leaves coming down off of a damn tree, and on the other side, we have Swamp Witch. Which eye is like speaking more to you? I can't decide which one. I feel like the warm eye is speaking more to me today, but I love, like, I'm going to hit pan on this Crypt Keeper shade. I can tell you that right now. Okay, also in my waterline on the swampy eye, I kept it just black. And on the other eye, I went for another of the Kaleidos pencils, and this shade is Solaris. What's terrifying is a piece of the eyeliner. Let me see if I can show you. A tiny piece of the eyeliner broke off in my waterline and I had trouble getting it out. So that was like 2 minutes of fun. I say 2 minutes, it was like 13 seconds. For my lips today, even though I don't think it's gonna match this swampy eye, but I do think it'll match here very well, I'm gonna go in with Shadow Creature. I do want to try a little bit of a lip line first, just so I can make it a little more precise. And this is just a very old Becca lip liner. Now this might be a little more red than the actual lip shade, but you know what, actually I think it might be pretty close, but let's try. This is such a pretty color. Again, we do have that moussey texture, and the reason I'm like straining my neck right now is because I feel like maybe, I don't know, does it look weird with this? I don't love the green and the reddish together, but I love this together. I love it so much. Do I want to do a gloss? I kind of don't, but I kind of want to test that super glowy lip gloss. So this is the Glow Lip Gloss in Radioactive. Again, this is a more sheer lip gloss. I don't want to stain the actual like doe foot, so I'm just taking a little bit on my finger. These glosses feel so good, and this is such a nice, like more sheer gloss that I think it goes very well over top and it feels very hydrating. Whew, okay. So now we have seen 4 looks with this collection. We have seen 2 different lips. We've seen the swatches. We've seen all of that. My first thoughts on this collection is like, at first I was thinking, okay, I'll talk about my first thoughts of the little Ghost palette and then the Trick or Treat palette and then each individual lip. My thoughts, I love it all. I really love it all. And I think that the quality is there. And that to me right now, in my makeup journey, if you will, is the most important, because I am on a low buy, because I am choosing where to put my energy and what to keep in my collection and where to put my money, and I'm being a lot more careful with all that. I want quality over quantity in my collection, and the quality is so there with these. The eyeshadows did not make me work for them. They just blended with each other easily. They didn't get muddy. They didn't lose pigmentation. You know, I did have a little bit of fallout at one point, but with a bright color like that, I almost expect it because it's so pigmented, and just the quality is so there. And yes, Angie is one of my friends, but as I've told you, I am always going to be completely honest with you. And this collection has kind of blown me away. Each time that I've tried Oden's Eye, their quality is just so there. And it's so cool to see these indie brands really stepping up their quality and stepping their game up. I just like seeing collaborations with people I can relate to. And Angie is very relatable. I think you all feel the same way. So anyway, you'll have to let me know what you think. Are you planning on picking up this collection? Which shades, which stuff is speaking to you specifically? Like, this palette is going to be a go-to for me, a non-stop go-to. I am already in love with it. Congratulations wholeheartedly to Angie and also to Oden's Eye, because this, I hope, will be a big success for everyone. I'm so in love with this collection. I can't wait to be using it all fall. This is gonna be like I said, an everyday eye for me. So that's it. If you enjoyed this really long video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. You all can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are all GlitterFallout. And as always and forever, you are super freaking rock stars. I love you so much with my whole heart. Happy Halloween, happy spooky season, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.